63-year-old dude has hypertension, type 2 diabetes mellitus, BPH managed with lisinopril, metformin, finasteride. He's got diabetic glomerulosclerosis, so thickening of the basement membrane. Very important first histological change you're going to see in diabetes on light microscopy. And then also, he's got chymostyl-Wilson nodules, so they're hyaline within the mesangium. Albumin 2.1, so it should be 3.5 to 5.5. Even if you don't know the normal ranges, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that it would be decreased, considering you've got 3+ proteinuria and nephrotic syndrome, and that diabetes, major cause of chronic renal failure with nephrotic syndrome, GFR is slightly elevated. What's most likely to be seen in this patient? Choice A, decreased hydrostatic pressure in Bowman space. Wrong fucking answer. He's got BPH. It's going to be increased. USMLE wants you to know that high creatinine in an old dude with no other information is BPH till proven otherwise. It's not our scenario here, but it's important you know this is what USMLE is going to do. 63-year-old male, elevated creatinine, no other information. They'll say, what's the most likely explanation for his elevated creatinine? Answer is increased Bowman capsule hydrostatic pressure, increased tubular hydrostatic pressure, because it's assumed all old dudes have BPH, which is going to cause some degree of obstructive uropathy with increased hydrostatic pressure more proximally. Wrong fucking answer. Choice B, decreased renal plasma flow. Wrong fucking answer. Diabetes in and of itself doesn't necessarily cause decreased renal blood/plasma flow. Choice B is an important answer for NSAID, right? So prostaglandins are going to maintain patency of the afferent arterioles going to the kidney, and NSAIDs will, the answer on NBME is inhibit the synthesis of vasodilating prostaglandins at the afferent arterioles. Okay, so we'll have dilating, constricting, afferent, efferent. So NSAIDs inhibit the formation of vasodilating prostaglandins at the afferent arteriole, decreasing renal blood flow. It's the major etiology for analgesic nephropathy, prerenal azotemia. Wrong fucking answer. Choice C, decreased serum protons, me being an asshole. Wrong fucking answer. It's two reasons it's wrong. One, you've got diabetic issues causing kidney damage, and you know uremia means your renal failure, and it's the U in mud piles. So if anything, you'd have a high anion gap metabolic acidosis if you had to gestate a type of acid-base disturbance here. Second reason is patient is on metformin, so you could also gestate the idea that he could have lactic acidosis in the setting of renal insufficiency. He should be off the metformin, so you'd have increased serum protons in this patient. Choice C, wrong fucking answer. Choice D, increased tubular osmolality. Correct answer. He's got hyperfiltration. Now, very important you know that the first change in the kidney with diabetes is hyperfiltration. The first histological change is thickening of the glomerular basement membrane. Glucose is going to pull water with it across the glomerular basement membrane. That's why you get polyuria in diabetes. So hyperfiltration occurs initially. Increased glomerular filtration occurs initially. They like this. As renal failure ensues, GFR will go down. Okay, that's the definition of renal failure is reduced GFR, but you have to know that in early renal disease due to diabetes, you get hyperfiltration, increased GFR. Holy shit. So let's just whip through the other answers. And osmolality is your solute concentration, which is your sugar here. Increased resistance at the afferent arteriole. Wrong fucking answer. I mean, it's pretty much the same as choice B in a way, right? So if you had increased resistance going to the kidney, you'd have decreased renal blood flow. Wrong fucking answer. You know the deal. I'm going to make more content. Appreciate your time. That's it.